What's new, crew? Welcome back to Vlogmas. Today we're going to be talking about my December meal plan. At the filming of this, it's just, what day is it? November 28th. So a couple days before the start of December. I'm 39 weeks pregnant, still very pregnant. So heading into December, I wanted to keep things super simple, super easy, and just dumb it down as simple as I possibly could for myself and for my husband, who's gonna be stepping into the kitchen a lot this month. So I decided there are 31 meals or 31 days in the month of December. I decided to break that down, and one of those days is obviously going to be Christmas. So that leaves me 30 days that I had to plan meals for. So I wrote out a list here of 11 different options for us meals wise, and we're just gonna eat each option 3 times. And then we're also going to throw in some of those freezer meals that we did for prepping for postpartum. And then of course we do have Christmas. I am hosting this year, and I've decided that I'm hosting Joe's family, or my husband's family, and my family as well, just because I think it's going to be easier with a newborn to just host. And I know that sounds ridiculous to some people, but everything we need is going to be here. Everything I'm gonna need is going to be here, and everything's just gonna feel a little bit more relaxed, I think, that way. And that's my overall plan. We're gonna have Christmas leftovers and things like that. So really, we're not gonna be just eating these 11 meals, because we have other things that we're gonna be mixing in, but this is just what I'm shopping for this month. So the first meal that we're going to be doing is tacos. And I figured how we could switch this up, make it different, is by just switching out the protein. We could do fish tacos, we could do shrimp tacos, beef tacos, chicken tacos, and just mix the protein up a little bit and make it feel like it's not the exact same meal that way, because we are eating it 3 times or 2 times or whatever it is. It can at least be a little bit different. We're going to be doing that with a lot of meals this month, so I'll tell you guys what we're going to be doing to make them different as we head down the list. The second meal is spaghetti. Lots of options here as well. We could do a typical spaghetti with like a ragu sauce, or we could do spaghetti and meatballs, or I could do like spaghetti and chicken parmesan, like lots of different options. I could also make like a spaghetti pie or a baked spaghetti. So lots of options to make it feel different, make it seem different, even if it's essentially going to be the same ingredients. We're going to do some sort of shredded chicken sandwich, whether that be a chicken barbecue, or maybe like a honey lime or a cilantro lime or something like that. We of course could do that over buns and make it like a sandwich, or I could just do shredded chicken and gravy, and we can eat it over rice or mashed potatoes or noodles. So lots of different options, but either way, it's something super simple and easy. I wanted to have some crock pot meals because by the end of the day I am so exhausted, and I'm hoping that I get some energy back after I have the baby. But as of right now, it doesn't even have to be the end of the day. It's like noon and I feel like I need a nap. So by the time dinner time comes, I'm so over it, and I'm always really happy when I have something in the crock pot. So we're gonna do that, and that gives me a handful of meals, like at least once a week, where I can throw some chicken in a crock pot and not have to worry about it until dinner time. We're gonna do some sort of Alfredo. I can make Alfredo sauce in my crock pot. I have a handful of videos about that, or I can do my like 1-pot Alfredo that we do. So options, and like I said, we can switch up proteins in this Alfredo. We could do chicken, we could do shrimp, we could do no protein at all and just do a vegetable Alfredo with like what is that called, broccoli, like yum, that sounds good. So we have options there to switch it up, at least well, we're going to be eating it a couple times throughout the month. The next one is a crock pot orange chicken. I have a couple bottles of like chicken seasoning sauced things in my fridge that I've been kind of like working on getting through. So I have orange chicken. I also have teriyaki sauce in my fridge. So I kind of figured just put the chicken in the crock pot, or even in my Instant Pot if it gets too late and I forget to put it in the crock pot, just dump over some of the sauces that are in the fridge, eat that over rice with like some steamed veggies or something, and have it be super yummy. So we'll do that a couple of times, and like I said, we can totally switch out the sauce that goes on it and the vegetable on the side and make it feel like a completely different meal. I found a recipe for Swedish meatballs that you can do in the crock pot. It's a lot different than like me making my own meatballs and making my own gravy and all of that stuff, This is a lot more simple. It's like just prepackaged meatballs with a can of cream and mushroom soup. I pretty much had everything I needed for it except the frozen meatballs. So I'm just gonna get like 2 bags of meatballs, I think, and then we'll be able to do that a couple times throughout the month. Just dump it in there, and then I can make baked potatoes for that, or I could even make potatoes in the crock pot with like, or in my second crock pot, and make mashed potatoes in the crock pot or in the Instant Pot or something, and just have the machines do all the work for me, which would be nice. Or even my husband, if it's like a weekend or something, I can have him whip up mashed potatoes. That's something that he actually really likes making. Or we could do potato pancakes if it's after the holidays and we have like leftover mashed potatoes from Christmas. We have so much fish in the freezer right now. My husband has been doing awesome fishing this year. Well, him and some of my kids have been out fishing, and just, we have so much fish. We have a ton of trout, we have some salmon, we have some whitefish that's been really, really good. So I figured we would do some homemade mac and cheese and some of the fish that he's been catching and we've been preserving and stuff, and like learning all these different things on smoking and brining and preserving fish, which has been really, really fun. We have lots to pick from right now, so we could do like a smoked trout mac and cheese, or we could do a smoked salmon mac and cheese, or we could just do fillets, baked fillets. We could do fried fish and some mac and cheese. I figured that, and some vegetables, maybe even just some plain mac and cheese with like roasted veggies. That would be really good too. So lots of options to kind of mix it up, but some sort of mac and cheese is what we're going to be doing a couple times this month. Of course, I put pizzas on here. We always have stuff to make pizzas. We canned so much pizza sauce this year, which is something that was really, really exciting for me. Pizza dough we can always make because I keep all that stuff in-house all the time anyways, and if we wanted to, we could switch it up and do calzones or strombolis. And of course, we'll make it feel different with what we're putting inside the stromboli. We could put leftovers in it. We could always switch out the pizzas or the calzones to do pasties or something instead. So we have options. I want to do some chicken, broccoli, and rice bakes. I was trying to keep the proteins mixed, especially if we're only going to be doing a couple meals, so to have options to switch things out protein wise, just so it doesn't feel like we're eating the same thing all month. But chicken, broccoli, rice, my kids love it, especially if I make a smaller portion, which I know sounds ridiculous saying that my kids love it, but they don't like to eat it. It's not like something that they like leftovers, but if I make a small like 9x9 or an 8x9 pan and we eat it just for dinner one night, they'll eat it up. But if I have leftovers past the 1 day mark, they don't typically love it as much, which I understand because not all meals are great leftover. And that's also a meal that my husband like knows how to make and can make really well. So I could always save that for a day when I'm just needing a little bit of extra help or something, and I'm like, you know what, babe, here, you can go throw that chicken, broccoli, rice together because I need some help. We're gonna do some tater tot casseroles. This is a family favorite. Everybody loves it. It makes lots of leftovers too. So if I wanted to make a big batch of it and then eat it for dinner, and then we could have it for lunches all week long, so I don't have to worry about feeding myself lunch after I have a baby, that would be nice as well. So we have that there, and that is another meal that my husband knows how to make and likes to make. So he could step in and he wouldn't have to like peek his head around the corner and ask me 100 times how to make it or like what goes next, or you know what I mean. So we're also gonna do that. And the very last meal I have planned were chalupas. I figured we can switch this out with proteins as well and what we stuff in it. We could do beans or rotel and corn and rice and different cheeses and just make it feel different. We just ate these last night. My family loves the chalupas. They are so yummy, and it's another thing that I just make the filling in the crock pot, and then at the end of the day just put them in the tortillas and roll them. They are so good. I basically wanted December's meals to be like our favorite meals, really easy go-to meals that me and my husband could make. It doesn't really matter who's cooking, just really simple, easy, and tasty. So that really is just my quick, easy meal plan for December. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys are having a fantastic December. And of course, I will see you guys in the next video.